Video streams are turned on because this is the last World Cup of the tournament. I might see a lot of streamers. That'll be cool. Who else got you? Oh no. Come on, guys. My eyes are very itchy, that's why. Oh, here we go. There we go. Ew! Aww. Damn it. Hey, now we're in 100,000. Let's go. $101,900. I'm tired of this. Here we go. Oh. Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Yo.
back to the Fortnite
Look.
World Cup.
Oh my
Open
gosh.
Online qualifiers, week 9. The solos action
Yo.
has been fantastic through and through so far.
This is like
We
real,
covered
bro.
Europe.
No. No. What did I do? Oh, there you go. See? I accidentally did that by an accident.
There we saw him get really close week again, and like you said though, anything is in the air.
Dude, it's so incredibly close. We've seen the semifinals, everybody kind of crunching up there, but let's get right on into the matches. I want to see how this all resolves and who gets those last 6 solo spots out of NA East. The action has been intense. The leaderboard is close. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Let us know who you think will make it out, because the leaderboard is changing every time a match finishes. And now,
dang, look at that.
with Spook, 49 players left, so just under half the lobby.
Dang.
Yeah, the only player we've seen really take a lead today is Andretta. Outside of Andretta, no one else. The boards have been extremely close, top to bottom here. So now hopping in with Spook, guys. 50 minutes left to queue up here. We're midway through it. Halfway through all the queue times and the games we'll be seeing here for the NA's block. It's going to be a close one.
It's going to be close. I mean, every single region has come down to some form of last match, whether it's a player overtaking at the last minute or you saw Blacksup get the victory royale, everything he needed on the final match of the server. There's Spook picking up ramen there, no 99-cent deal. Back to the lobby, you can queue back up. Like we said, just under an hour left in the queue times. You
Look
get
at
3
all
hours
those people.
or 10 matches to score
A
as
bunch of
many
tryhards.
points as possible. And this lobby is stacked. Outlet, Diggy, Macwood, all directly on top of each other right now. Macwood getting some pressure onto that cone, but not finding anything after the heavy snipe.
Yeah, nice angles right here, just playing with the perspective that he has. He drops a player there with the heavy sniper. No fall damage was given though, which means that player slid on down safe and sound to the side of the mountain here. This Macwood is back in a hunt, just looking around on the prowl right now. And so far, so good. 46 players remain in the 6-man, or Storm Wave 6 is approaching here, I should say. Tons of players. That means no placement points have been given out, and these players have put close to 15, 18 minutes or so of time into this game right here.
Yeah,
so if you get knocked out before the placement threshold, that's going to be rough to kind of swallow in here.
It's all about time efficiency. You see Roat taking over the Storm there. That is part of those new changes with patch 9.20. If somebody has been tagged in the past 60 seconds and they either self-eliminate, fall to the Storm, or fall to fall damage, you will get the Elim credit. Now you can see Macwood trying to get onto the edge of the zone as we do have to rotate across the lagoon, so it could get awkward. You have Wrigley, who's in the second spot, the player who has been very much so coming up through these open matches recently. You see Percently also picking up an Elim there. Storm threshold on your right-hand side. Macwood is 402 above it. What the Storm Surge does, it's a little bit of a different mechanic. If players are being too passive, as Macwood, not passive at all, going for the no-scope Blainer of the Year, misses it there. If players are too passive and haven't done damage, the Storm Surge will punish you, doing 10 damage per tick as that goes off until you either are above the threshold or you're eliminated. Just like that, Strep picks up Macwood. No antibiotics used there, but a nice Elim and point going over to Strep.
Yeah, and this is it right here. I don't think we've seen as many ballers throughout the day, but my gosh, there are so many still in play. That's a big reason why there's so many players still alive right now, guys. The vehicles are out. Nice double shot with the combat right there. Strep connecting big time here. Someone comes out the Storm. Karos gets flicked on and taken out of the game. Back to lobby he goes. And Strep finds himself at 29 points. Can he make it 30? That's two big shots. Up and over the top he goes. He still wants this one, but no, gets taken out by CWV. Saw FaZe Diggy there as well in the feed. There's a lot going on here, Sundown.
Good job there.
There's two baller people. Look at
that
that guy. Secret bait. Jesus. He's so low.
Lasered him. That was 150 to 0 in the blink of an eye. Now you have Neferux of Luminosity Gaming. We're inside the top 25%. Still up. Demo.
Can I go in? Damn it.
Jesus, so he's gonna go down. You see defensive traps put in place by the player next to Neferux. Tech gets K's, and we're getting closer and closer to top 15. Fox is now out. Double edit, and he got it. Demo's in.
Oh, it gets both of them. Shaz and Demo go right down. The combat, the fire rate.
And it gets him into the top 15.
He's getting
and
so
it gives him
little.
a shadow bump. That is a massive 4-point swing and could potentially end up being more for Neferux.
He had 0 materials as well. This really puts him back in the game here, guys. It was all looking so grim as Neferux is now looking to find tendons. Will he be able to connect here? He's got the traps out. He finds someone down in the water. He could still commit here, and he does. Tendons goes down. He doesn't have any shield, though.
Good job sticking with that. Saw that Tendons was over the side. He got his Elim kind of poached away from him there, but manages to stay with it. Saw where the Tracer Fire was and identified the player. Now on 31 points. 7 players remaining. Wrigley, who we just saw, was in that top 3, directly above him. You have Lyricid, 2 above him. As Sicko does pick up B-Hegs, and Neferux looks for the double edit. He has no more mats, so nothing doing with the launch pad. Will he find another sick double from Neferux? Can he make it a triple? He's looking. He needs to get back in the Storm Zone. He does. Shots coming out. Shots from the player above. Double edit. Loses it. Wrigley picks it up, but can Wrigley find the zone? He did get the siphon. He needs to circle back around, and he found it, but there's tons of natural building here. Spook, everything is for him. Has 6 builds, not a ton going on here, but has the high ground. Everyone moving over. HP advantage goes to him. Wrigley caught every one of those pellets with his face, but a good individual effort pushes Spook up to 34 points. 70 limbs, victory royale.
Solid game for Spook right there, picking up a 17-point game.
Damn,
that's how fast
look at all those sweaty builds.
Right up into the 30-point bracket, putting you in contention for top 5, making your way to New York City Finals. But man, Neferux, he had crazy play there with the double edit down. I thought it was all over for a second there, but off to the next one here, guys.
Always
Park. Little action right here, Sundown.
Always on to the next one there. 45 minutes left in the queue. And remember, last time we checked out on the leaderboard, 38th was second place. Clicks was in first, but had already previously qualified. 10th was 33rd. Donnie JJ was up on that
37
list. Currently
points.
sitting there
Wow,
in
how more than
37.
that?
has the rare heavy AR as well as the rare
62.
pack single shadow bomb and 3 minis with 199 effective HP. So not in a bad spot, particularly as he
Ooh.
picks up Z-Laner there, going to try and push in and get whatever loot from that he can.
Yeah, nice little pick right there, but little hiccup right there as we kind of catch up here. He is going for the loot. It's going to be risky. He steps right next to Parallel
Oh.
Train's box. Cannot step into those walls. That was clearly a mistake there.
And he got him with the flint. And one thing you notice there, as Trey poked out, it kind of messed him up because the flint pushed him in the corner of the box. He missed his first shot because of that. Might have been able to win the trade, but wasn't enough.
Huh? What happened? What happened? Okay, that was weird. That was literally weird.
Point man, still got
There you
go
go,
out
we're
there.
back.
They'll be able to get it. Clicks, pick it up,
Click,
trade
click,
there.
clack, we're back
We
on the
saw
track.
earlier with a nice flintlock play, but not gonna save you from Clicks as he pushes in with that epic combat shotgun. Pops his last shadow bomb, is gonna get moving over on the far side of the zone.
Love what he's doing too. He's got so much material. He's playing for higher elevation right here. But with this many players alive, no layer is safe, especially not the lowest. In comes the drum gun pressure right there. Does see a player on a campfire, decides, hey, he's still got shield. Focuses on the next person. This is the problem with having a drum gun. Notice that was a little sloppy.
I was about
players
to say,
are so exposed.
And also that first bloom shot, man, that was rough. He literally had the guy painted, and it was just like one of the scenes of the cartoons. We hit everything but him, and right there, Shababad Clicks hits everything, including you. Trap shotgun right there. You have Exulting just below Clicks. The controller player duo of Excels trying to put some pressure on him, but just gonna disengage. Grandma just below him. We've seen him on the leaderboards time and time again. Symphony also in his own box, but Bizzle is gonna smell him out there and send him back to the lobby. Well done from the week 1 qualifier and the Ghost General, the highest earning Fortnite player in competitive history right now, is trying to make his mark on this lobby, sitting at 30 points, already qualified 2 boogies, heavy sniper, and the legendary combat.
Yep, and this is exactly where he likes to be, that end game. A little more placement threshold being broken into right there. Nice little edit, catches a
I'm back.
clean elim on Nicole, who had the storm pressure. You notice that did crumble just a bit there.
And he's into the top 15 as well. The player right on the side is looking for it. Slem was actually the one to pick that up, so Bizzle going to continue going forward, and this is where he loves to fight. I know Bala has been a big talk about it, but how good the Ghost guys are at tunneling and fighting from their tunnel, whether it's Sean or Bizzle or Demo or Snood, every single one of them can fight from these angles, and Bizzle trying to do it.
No.
But the ramp in his face, Boogie Bob, Disco out in the open. Leo being the benefactor of that one. Kydra, honestly, just, I don't know if it was luck, benefactor, right time, right place, but Bizzle gets sent back. Grandma, however, picks up Leo right after, so we're on board with Shaded Talent on the ultimate low ground as Grandma picks up another one.
Yep, Grandma is in this game. You see him popping off in the feed. Shaded trying to get up higher. The higher he goes, the closer he gets to Grandma. Will he be able to connect right here? Does land a shot. It's Cliff who goes down. Beautiful trap, too. You put it on the ceiling. It's undodgeable, essentially. And that was how he caught Clicks off guard right there. Shaded Talent, now one step closer to high ground. He is going to step out into the storm and sacrifice just a bit more to get nice and secure set up in the top here.
and then he has the stinks to be able to rain him down. I don't know if he realized he's completely uncontested, but now AJ is forced right out in the storm, and with the tick over from the storm change, he's gonna get it. He'd get it either way.
He won.
Smelt it, he dealt it, and everyone else in the lobby had to deal with it. 4 elims and the victory royale, bumping him up to 33 points.
You would think we'd see more end games like that, where the stinks just flush out everyone in the low ground, but to hold on to something so valuable to the end, that's a tough play.
How rarely are you like getting into a top 3 situation where you have uncontested high ground and you have 2 stinks? Like, the reason that doesn't typically end up happening, you don't see that more often. You'd think like, oh, that's the best use case for a stink. Yes, if you get into that situation.
You gotta make it there, and then like you gotta hold on to him. So.
Right. But whereas if you, and we've talked about this, I know Courage is a big advocate, if you have 3 stinks in a solo and somebody's boxed up, you can effectively eliminate them, right? You can chase them around or at least force them to burn a ton of materials. So that's why you tend to see players opt to use them, because you can get kind of tags on players. Oh, yeah, trying to go for the immediate wall replace, but you can see how there's a little bit of an issue when you get exposed. If the other player goes to shoot first, you know, they get that first shot on you. As that happens right there, and Yak trades it back out with Bizbo. You can take the wall and own it all you want, but if you don't hit the shots, it doesn't matter.
That was 2 125s. Precision aim right there. Yak finds himself a ton of loot, materials, zone. He's got so much going for him now.
It was actually kind of a misplay by the other player. I think it was Bizbo. When you're kind of poking there, you need to shoot, and right as you shoot, move your character model over to the left. He just sat his character model in the window, basically framed his face to catch those pellets. Make sure you're abusing that right-hand advantage. If you have it, you can't give it up, or you can't have it and then not use it. Otherwise, you don't have an advantage. But now, the other half of the Dubs Mega pairing trying to push in here, has full qualified already for the solos and duos, and is now trying to put a little pressure on this player on the outside.
One step closer, he did take the wall. He doesn't even know it was his cone too. Did try to combat it, Flint follow up frosted. It was just too fast. Mega was just too fast for him to react. He was 1 step ahead of him every single moment, in every single moment of that battle right there.
Man, it must feel awful to just get victimized by Mega and
I would
Dubs.
be so upset to go against one of these guys. They're too quick. Literally
they're just very, and we talk about like what makes some of these players good. In some circumstances, they do everything right. Sometimes they're just very good and they're fast. Like that would be what I say kind of Mega, Dubs, Benji, Fishy, Mr. Savage. Well, they all have like certain types of traits about them and certain things they do well. Yes, they're all incredibly fast-paced players with everything they do.
I thought they were
and in of themselves, that's almost their defining trait. The quickness at which they do everything. Beating somebody in Fortnite to the punch by a quarter of a second is enough for a shot. If you're doing that every single time, you're getting their wall every single time because you're that much faster, then you're going to be able to snowball those advantages, compound them into something better. That's why the best of the best are so consistent.
As we focus in on Mega here, let's see what he's going to do. We have praised him enough on how quick he is. He's at 14 eliminations. If you don't believe us by now, you're crazy. You don't get that high, that aggressive in finals. Guys, mind you, this is everything on the line for New York City, right? Potentially. And he just pushes through. Just goes all the way through, no hesitation. That's 1. Someone else does join the battle here. Finds him as well. Quick little flick right there.
That was just gross.
16 elims.
He hit the flint knock headshot. I was honestly like, I half thought he was going to push in for the pickaxe. The flint knock will do the 180 if you get that full headshot there, but instead sticks with the combat and then picks up the nice little double. But now he needs to be careful of the 6. Good job getting up 2 blocks, and then luckily, as he pops the shadow, the shots miss towards the door. So, you know, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Mega catching it right there is going to put down the campfire as well as the 2 minis. If you blink, you might have missed it, but he's now in the center of zone, boxed up, campfire one side, launch pad in the zone next to him, and now reloading all of his weapons, ready for the next rush.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the flint and pick up a grenade launcher. Interesting to see how that's going to play out here in this end game, because it's not typical you see someone have a grenade launcher towards these congested zones. But this is the perfect time to use all these shadow bombs, guys. Just keep him in the game and rotating. He is on someone's heels right here. He was really trying to get that elim right there. chasing him all the way up.
And one thing that's super important to note there, notice how he didn't jump or double jump or wasn't sprinting. He was literally walking directly behind the player. Any of those other movement options would have given away, and the player would have known, would have had an opportunity to box him in, potentially trap him out. That's what we talk about when we say do all of the little things right. You might not think about it. You might think, oh, I get the double jump, I better use it. No, players adapt. They've gotten used to it. They know to look for the smoke trails, to just throw bullets towards it and to hope to get it. But Mega going one step farther, and he still has two more, enabling him so much. And here go the grenades. Will we see Mr. Savage 2.0, who is the best billiard player in NA? He fires all of them down low, and no ticks coming through yet.
Look, the pressure of the explodes, the sounds, it's as much of a mind game as it is the whole site just to kind of connect here. So let's see what Mega's gonna do. He's looking for the elims down low. He doesn't care about who's up above. He's trying to inch his way down here. Just taking a little bit more control of this layer. He doesn't have any movement, any freedom space here. He's gonna find Dream TV.
Wait. That was a grenade tag. It had to have been. He hasn't shot anybody else in the last minute. So he had to have hit somebody with a grenade, gets flint knocked out into the zone there, but can he cover himself?
Oh
7
damn,
HP.
5 people left.
Mega
Oh my god.
drops down. Winteroo, you can go back. It's the time of summer, and it's the time of phase. Mega, what a sick edit and sick play now. Up to 107 effective HP. Papa Eggy on the high ground. Hoffner gets personally victimized by Mega. Like
3 people
basically
left.
the rest of the entire lobby. Up to 19 elims, but now on the low ground. Shadow Bomb comes out from Eggy. Hot feet for Mega. Hot feet for Eggy, but he's in the shadow. And Mega
Oh
finds
my
him.
god.
He finds him because he jumped. Monster.
I don't know how he just did that, but he managed to really pull through and clutch up at the end. That was as close as we've ever seen it, and that was a 20 elimination game there.
30 points. 30 points for Mega. We saw him at 7 HP. Again, I cannot stress it enough. If you're watching and you want to get better at Fortnite,
Imagine
go.
dropping a 20 bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine dropping a 20 bomb in any game. Like, I think I've had a 20 bomb once, maybe, in a pub, I think, and I felt really, really, really happy. He's doing it in the finals against the best of the world. If you want to go watch these games, watch their perspectives, you can load it up in the client yourself. You can go to the leaderboard, set the region. Right now, we're on NA East. Then you can click the compete tab at the top, load up week 9, and check out all of the individual greatness. Whether you want to be watching Tfue or Dubs or Mega or any of the other solo players who are already qualified, I promise you, they will all put on a show as we get into the final half hour of the queues. And already Chap, Tilpill, Snood, all up over on this side. Clicks in the match as well. Right as I said that, Tilpill gets taken out by, honestly, the Demon Hunter right now. That's what Clicks feels like. He's just running around cleaning up everything.
Dude, Clicks is fearless right now. He's he has nothing to lose at this point. This is all good practice for the Fortnite World Cup. This Chap is now putting pressure on players that are gliding across, and what a death valley here. You do not want to have to cross this. You think, oh, I have a launch pad, I'm okay. No way, not when players have this much elevation kind of set up. This poor guy's probably gonna use redeploy. He uses the flint knock actually trying to save himself there. He's still in the game.
Was able to catch himself right there at the bottom. You see Kearney also here. Chap trying to get an angle on the rest of the lobby. Again, the Liquid Old Guard desperately trying to qualify and join Vivid on that stage in New York City. We have EG's J-Tooth also in the lobby. Nobu Beef, it does get picked up. Bears also going down. 33 players remaining. Circle 6, and also a ton of verticality changes going on the circle. Look at the bottom right, Monster.
Yeah, it's going straight across another valley towards the tilted, neo-tilted mountain. You guys are very familiar with this mountain. It's been in the game for a while here. So to have to cross back, another steep elevation coming from the shifty side.
Yeah, the old that old clock tower mountain gives some really, really good kind of vantage point over the rest of Tilted, but it's really awkward to kind of end up fighting around and rotating over because it's such a steep valley into then this kind of like gradual hill that drops off right after. So we'll see some interesting rotations coming out, but now on board here with Joy with that tactical assault rifle trying to throw some shots over. You do see Storm Surge over on your right-hand side. Only one more player has to fall before that turns off, and the rotation is coming through. So Joy is going to be looking for those gatekeeping opportunities. You see him checking the angles as Shiga picks up Sensible. Temp gets picked up by Joy. He's going to be like, all right, got my Elam, I'm out, waiting for the opportunity to then rotate over and away. The question is, how long can he extend out the Shadow Bomb? Not long enough, going to opt to use the second one. Does get the tick over in the Storm as well onto Shiga, so good job from him.
Look at
And
this.
now all the way far side of the zone.
Manages to really just hop his way up and over all the builds. Perfect usage of the Shadow Bombs here. He hasn't even reloaded the Tactor. He's already on the offensive push here. Another player did rotate by. He's kind of getting his eyes set on who's going to be his next victim. Went from 1 eliminations to 3. Will this be the 4th? And it is going to be the 4th. Let's have fun, okay? We saw him a bunch yesterday, ending in the top 10. I think he finished about 6th.
But doesn't look like he's having as much fun, okay, today, as J-Tooth picks up another Elam. Grandma goes down outside the top 15. Lucky also down another player qualified for duos, looking for a solo qualification. You have Snood, the second best average Sunday finisher in the entire world, but hasn't managed to get a qualification spot. 2 9th place finishes for him. Will this week be his week? You see Joy shots up towards the top ground, and he gets Prestovin with the drop down in the alley-oop afterward.
Yep, and here it is. Joy has now found himself 2 layers up and over these opponents here. You have to be very careful. He's looking to see if he can just disconnect this entire build, maybe get some fall damage.
Needs to look up, though. There was a rift that went off. This is not completely uncontested, and boom, there it is. He realizes there's the 3 players in the sky, wants to hold his high ground, so he's going to push over towards this other player, and he gets it away from him, except gets the high ground ripped away from him, and Joy immediately looks up and places the trap down.
Yeah, he did manage to pull that off. What is going on here? Clicks still in the game. Baldy's still in the game as well. Clicks pops the
This last one, and I'm gonna end it.
He sees the mountain up ahead. This is going to work out perfect for him as Joy is probably running low on mats. A lot of builds coming out of him, except going up. And Clicks just lands on the ramp, doesn't even care. No respect for Joy at all. Puts the double ramp off right there.
Just absolutely took it away from him. Clicks in the top right, Joy in the bottom right. That's the fight that's happening in the high ground. You have 2 separate 1v1s. Clicks versus Joy, except first phase attack.
Joy and
runs him over. Absolutely brilliantly done from him there. After taking out J-Truth, gets that there. So he has uncontested low, but with no mats to his name. So Clicks is just going to rain down on the lobby. Only 2 mats left on Joy, and a singular Shadow Bomb that is there as well. Everything is pointing to Clicks if he can get his way down. Attacks, goes forward onto Joy, and Joy finds it. He gets the siphon, but he's down on the HP lead as Clicks has the high ground, but is starting to run low on mats. Only has 12 left, but that's all it takes. The combat shotgun from nearly 6 tiles up, the hard aim down sights for Clicks. 3 Elams, victory royale, locks it up.
Dang, look at all
13
that.
points. There's a reason he's
Oh my
qualified
god.
in
Look
duos,
at, oh my
solos,
freaking
and
god.
he's in first place. Well,
Bro.
right now, well done, Clicks.
Dang.
But the action doesn't stop. Again, 49 players left, nearly half of the lobby in this match, and we're on board here.
I'm done.